Dr. Hal White is netting and identifying dragonflies at Sedge Meadows on the border of the Delaware River and Chesapeake Bay watersheds. A nationally recognized expert, he's captured a calico pennant.
Probably emerged today earlier, and what they do is they hatch out and fly usually away from the water, and they spend maybe most of the day hardening up because they're soft when they come out.
The common green darner is one dragonfly that is being watched closely because of the insect's unique migration.
They arrive here early in the spring before any other dragonflies have emerged, fully adult, and so they obviously have come from somewhere else. And they come from the south, usually in Florida or Georgia or things like that. And they fly north in the spring, they reproduce here, and then they emerge again in the fall, getting big, large migratory groups, and then they migrate south again. So there's a cycle of go north in the spring, south in the fall, but they have one generation at each place, the south and the north.
Like other dragonflies, the green darner helps keep mosquito populations in check.
They're one of the most efficient predators in the animal kingdom. If you can compare them to lions, for example, out of 10 tries that a lion will go after its prey, it'll succeed about 30% of the time, so 3 out of 10 times. But when a dragonfly does that, it'll get 9 out of 10 of those catches. So it actually will eat anything that moves. It's not picky about what it eats. It'll even eat each other.
But how will mild winters and severe summer storms that are part of a changing climate impact the green darners?
There are certain kinds of habitats that are vernal ponds which dry up every year. But if they dry up too early, and there are certain species that live in those habitats, they're going to be destroyed. So I think drier summers and hotter summers will have an impact. Wetter have an impact on streams, for example, if you have floods and so forth that will wash the larvae away. This is a blue corporal. It's one of the common species here. It's also probably the earliest dragonfly to emerge in the spring here. So oftentimes I'll come here and there may be 50 of these around, perched on the ground, warming up in the sun.
Scientists say protecting stream buffers and upland areas is also essential.
Dragonflies are predators. They need a large area to hunt. If they don't have that, their livelihood and their being able to thrive could be in danger. We're working on a project on headwaters of the Delaware River, and we are as far north as the Arctic China State Forest and as far south as Port Jervis, Pennsylvania. What we've been finding in our preliminary results is that the headwater streams that we thought were really good and in pristine condition, they're okay. They're not where they should be or what they could be. And I think that has direct implications and due to development, land use. Do you want forest or do you want a warehouse? Those wetlands and those streams and those animals that live there, they need forest. They don't need warehouses.
Researchers also say low dissolved oxygen levels in waterways, along with contaminants, also pose threats.
Any animal that uses that water to acquire their oxygen or to thrive, it's important to have adequate levels of oxygen. It's important to have not as many contaminants. And we talked about PFAS, and PFAS also can bioaccumulate within the food webs. So dragonflies, being predators, probably might be more susceptible to higher bioaccumulation of PFAS in their systems.
The extreme weather experienced in the Delaware River watershed over the last 2 summers has also had an impact on research efforts.
So just for the 2 years of study that we did on the headwaters of the Delaware, in 2021 we had floods so bad that they washed away a lot of our loggers, and we don't have that data. And then in year 2 we had a drought, so we couldn't even get data because there was no water in the streams. So I don't think it's going to be flooding or it's going to be drought. I think it's going to be extremes of climate, those regional impacts. So it's not going to be, we're just going to be wetter or we're just going to be drier. It's going to be zigzagging back and forth, trying to get to that homeostasis point. And animals may not be prepared for, changes like that.